What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another prop firm review video, and it's been a while, but I am going to be doing this series for quite a while, moving on throughout of the rest of 2025 and also 2026, which also is the main reason of the proud announcement off of a new company which is called Funded Prop Traders. Now, this is a launch off of a review website, and also this series is to help you guys really kind of decipher like which prop firm should you go with, so be it crypto, futures, or Forex, and my experience as an overall as well, being myself as a trader. Now, I couldn't wait just to do this later, so I had to start up this video off with Funded Futures. Now, Funded Futures, the reason I have to start with this is I had done my biggest trading day of my career of $194,000 in one day. That's it, one single day. And what happened was I got paid out 39k from FTMO. I made 36k on the exact same account that got paid out to me on the same day. So they paid me out, then reactivated the account, and then made another 36. And then across the board, I made roughly around 114,000 across Funded Futures. And then on top of that, I did some other challenges, which was like 45k and 20k. So that kind of 65k was unrealized. So when I say unrealized, it means like money's not coming to me. It was a trade that made profit in order to pass those challenges. But to me, I still accumulate that as my trading day because I still took the trade. Yes, they're not realized profit. Yes, they are demo, and yes, they are part of the phase and the trial. But to me, I worked very hard in order to achieve a trading day as such. So you're going to see me talk about this for a very long time because it's a huge milestone for me. 2 years ago, I did 85,000 in 1 month. 2 years later, I've now done 194,000 in a day. And today, of the time of filming this video, I literally just closed out another $75,000 trade, which these numbers just sound absolutely astronomical, unreal, and even I feel like it doesn't feel, it just hasn't really hit me yet. But that's the power of prop firms, and that kind of brings us to this video of the series of doing these prop firm reviews, because one of the worst things is being denied, and I've only ever been denied once, and I've lost $50,000 worth of payouts, which is where the companies went under. But I've been in the prop firm space for like 3 years, and I'm in a position where I can really give you a review series, give you my train of thought and my experience off of the pros and cons off of each prop firm that we are going to review. So in today's video, we're going to be going over Funded Futures, which is an extension off of Funded Next, and Funded Next is the parent company. They have Funded CFD, they have Funded Futures, and I think they actually have Funded Markets as well, which is like the broker side. So they're pretty much covering all trading aspects. Now in this series, we're always going to go through about the company. So I'm going to start the series off by going what is about the company, how does the challenges work, a bit about the profile, and we're going to use the new FPT website, which is the Funded Prop Traders website, to kind of scout things out. And then number two, we're going to go through the pros and cons. Then we're going to go through my experience with them so far. So number three, if I have had an experience or if I would get funded with them. Number four, would I recommend you getting funding with them, or kind of like where I sit with that. And then number five, a little bit of a summary and some final thoughts off of the company. So I hope you guys are excited just like I am. It's going to be a really, really cool next 12 months. And without further ado, let's start this video. Okay, so what's happening, guys? So Funded Next is the parent company, which we may know or don't know, and they have these FN markets and FN futures. Yeah, so they do have FN markets. I was right. And CFDs is, a company that I've been trading with. And CFDs basically means like the Forex markets, or contract for difference. So you can trade like the traditional GBP USD, commodities, indices, like the traditional trading off of the foreign exchange world, quote unquote. Now, futures is just, they're both the same way. They're both trading, but futures is ultimately the way they have these contracts. And how you trade is basically based on different platforms. Ultimately, the instrument moves the same. Like if you trade gold, it's exactly the same thing. It's just the word of it. So for example, some like Australia has another one, but like UK has spread betting. You've got CFDs, you've got options, you've got futures. But realistically, if we had to like layman terms it, or really bring it back to some fundamentals so everyone can understand, it's just the way of trading. So for example, you have a steak, it's still beef. It's still beef. It doesn't matter how you cook it, it's still beef. So it's the same thing as this. It's still trading. It's exactly the same thing. It's just how you trade it. You want to fry it, you want to boil it, you want to eat it raw. Like that's a you problem. So anyway, coming on to this is we're going to go through Funded Futures, and I really am a little bit biased because I have had such a good experience with them, and I know I said I'll talk about the experience later, but honestly, it's got to be one of the best plans out there so far. So Let's start off with the challenges. Now, with funded futures, they have two types of challenges. Number one, they have the rapid challenge and the legacy challenge. Honestly, I know a lot more about the rapid challenge than the legacy. The reason being is on the legacy challenge, and the main difference I can see is that they have a consistency rule. Now, with the legacy challenge, there is a profit target of $1,250 on a 25K, 2,500 on a 50K, so basically 5%. And then you've got on 100K, there is a 6K, and then your maximum drawdown is all, which is all mentioned here. So realistically, one of a little hack and a little tip for you right now is that the 50K plan kind of is the best bang for buck. Realistically, I only need to make 5%, whereas on 100K, I need to make 6%. Not only that as well, the drawdown is actually 2,500 and this one is a 3,000. There is $100 difference just for 500 and to make an extra, what's that, like $3,500. It just makes it a lot harder. Now, I really like the 50K account. I really am enjoying the 50K account, and it's really changed absolutely everything. I bought the 100K account to start with, but the 50K account is like the one. So that's the profit target. That's the maximum loss. There's no activation fee. There is no one-time fee. Whereas in other futures companies such as StopTep, etc., once you are funded, you have to pay like a $350 fee. So with other traditional like funding, like TopStep or My Funded Futures or Funded Ticks, how the pricing works is you have to have a monthly payment, and then if you pass, you have to pay to get the account activated. Whereas at Funded Next Futures, again, another thing I love is just simplicity. Is you are just paying to get funded. That is it. Literally, you just pay, like you pay one time. That is it. Jobs are good. And if you do want to go and grab your challenge, don't forget the code WCHAMP. There is 5% off of all your future challenges, and it also helps support this channel and also helps support FPT. So enough about the legacy challenge. You can read more about it by going on there, but pretty much the maximum positions that you can open, and then the maximum positions you can open on a Funded Next account. Now let's go into the main one, the rapid challenge. Now the rapid challenge is something that I like. Why? Because you can pass in one day. It's very easy. Like the drawdown limits are not too bad. $2,000 for $3,000. Again, the 50K account is 6% of like a 4%. Here is a 5% and then 2.5K. So I guess the 100K is a little bit better than the 50K. But to be honest, in the profit target, yes, this is 5% and 6%. Realistically, I really like the $2,000 loss limit on the 50K account, and I've been able, like I said, all the accounts that I've made my money on are currently on 2 100K accounts, and then the rest are 50K accounts. The maximum funding you can have with Funded Next is 300K. And then you have a 25K, which honestly I haven't looked into. Now, the main difference, like I said, on the legacy is you have a 40% consistency score across the whole board through the challenge phase and then when you are funded. With the Funded Next Futures Rapid Challenge, you only have the 40% only when you are passed. So realistically, what I did was I pretty much just kind of pushed the accounts. I bought them straight away. There is resets of the challenge as well, which to be honest, I did not do. Looking back on it, I just realized I wasted another 8%, but you can reset your challenges. I just kept buying new challenges. And all in all, I will make another video, but I probably paid around roughly, I went through like 10 or 15 challenges or something like that, but now I'm in profit over like 100K. So, you know, I'll make a whole like video series off of my trading. So obviously this channel, I'm going to do the review series and obviously the trading series. And then we've got a whole separate channel just for vlogs if you do want to go and watch that. So that's a bit about the challenge. Pretty simple. I think these are the targets that you kind of really need to know, and there's nothing really else more to it. Now, coming on to FPT, which is this comparison website which you can use, we're going to have a load of features. So it's going to have Forex, which we're populating first, then there's futures, and then there's crypto. So you can go onto this website. We're going to have a point system, and if you review, we will give you some points, and these points can be used to redeem a funded challenge, and these challenges are across all these firms. Like pretty much every firm is working with us to some degree. So you could have a CK Capital one, Affinitive one, a Funded Next one, FTP is another one, Hollow Prime has also supported us, Hyro Traders support us. So all of them are giving us a giveaway. So we are going to figure it out because we've got more giveaways than we actually anticipated. But if you do want to, go check out FPT, go sign up on there, and then please use that website when you're comparing and also buying your challenges. Now, Funded next have those three companies. Now, realistically, this is just the CFD side, but the maximum you can have in terms of allocation is 300k. They are established in the UAE, established in 2022, but they were running a little bit longer than that, I believe. But that's only because they've just now moved their company to the UAE. This one you can use, and then you can kind of select all your challenges and compare all the rules and then the profit targets. But what is really cool is you've pretty much inputted all of this all in one hub. So if you do want to kind of compare to another firm, like a S tier firm like FTMO, you can kind of compare them and see how their classic and swing account works, their pricing, and then start comparing them all in one place. So that's a little bit about the challenges, a little bit about a company profile, and now it's time to talk about the pros and the cons. Now, realistically, I'm just kind of map it out for here and then tally them on the left and right. But if I had to kind of start off with the pros, because that's all I can think of, is it's very fast to get funded, which is a good and bad thing, because the problem with that is you're going to end up going through funding a lot quicker. There's easy rules and there's no like hidden rules. Like, for example, you know, the consistency score is not hidden away. It's not something that you can't ascertain or understand. They do have a bit of a confusing performance reward, as in like how they pay you out. But that's not just like funded futures. That's like every futures firm that kind of has these like crazy rules in how they pay out. It's like you have to get 5 before you can withdraw the whole amount. So I've withdrawn once. I've got to do it 4 more times before I can withdraw the full 100k, which should be the world record with funded futures, because I think Zamco did 150. So if I complete everything, I probably should sit around 200 plus, which again sounds insane, but this is what I mean. This is the power of prop firms. Obviously, futures is a lot easier to pass, which I kind of mentioned already. One of the best aspects of a futures is you can copy trade across the board, and we can copy trade. Think about it. If you just make $1,000 and then there's 10 accounts, it's technically $10,000 made in one trade. And that's exactly kind of what happened. I literally just had made a 20k trade, and then there was 4 accounts that copied it. That literally means that's 80k, and that's done in one day, which is absolutely like just silly, just absolutely silly. I think that the only real con that I can think of right now, and that's kind of just where I'm at right now, is I generally feel like the problem with futures is that they've made it so easy, it kind of doesn't really associate with real trading. And when I say real trading, it's because like once you're funded, right, you only have a $2,000 account like buffer. So I kind of tried to trade that a little bit aggressively and trying to give myself some like breathing space. And once I've got that space, I will then use that account balance as my buffer. So I'm trying to get it to like 5 or 10k, and then I'll just slowly compound that trading account and then just kind of build it up from there. But gold has been trending, so I've been getting some real nice shorts across the board. And that's kind of really it. That's kind of the only real 2 cons I can kind of think of. There's actually more pros I can actually think of again, which is that you can actually have 300k funding, which, do you know what, it would be nice if I could get more, because there are other companies like Apex who have like up to 20 accounts, but they have been denying people quite a lot on payouts, which is, you know, kind of a series we're going to talk about, you know, when we do the top 5 red flags and other things like that in the space. But yeah, that's kind of like the main things I can think of off the top of my head for funded futures. So I can kind of summarize, like, you know, now going on to the third part of the series, from pros and cons onto my experience now, is that it's been pretty seamless. The only real thing that I can't tell you about is the payout process. I've got delayed on my first payout so far, so hopefully it's an extra $1,000, because they have a rule: if they don't pay you within 48 hours, you will get $1,000 extra. So hopefully that should come through. But barring that experience, I really have to give it another 4 weeks to 2 months when I can withdraw the whole amount, and then I can make a video about that, and that probably will be the best like trading and the best video I've made to this date. Because it's kind of crazy how like life has changed. So, you know, I hope that you guys, the whole series of this is not only is to help you share my experience with these prop firm reviews, give you from my experience to review these prop firms, but also to inspire you to understand that like now is the best time, because you have leverage. Like if you're trading, you have to trade with prop firms. The traditional prop firms, they do things like a 20-80 split where you get 20%. Now with these retail ones, you're getting 80%. So it's completely flipped. So if I make $10,000, in a traditional route, they would give me 2,000, but now they're giving me 8,000. So And here's the thing, I can get funded with multiple companies. And if I do 10,000, there's 10 accounts, there's 100,000, I've now made $80,000, which suddenly seems very lucrative and also very possible because people like myself have done it. And the proof is in the pudding. I'm not like just showing you a screenshot. There are payout proofs, there's rice transactions, there's QR codes, there's statements for all there that literally, it is crazy. It is crazy. Like the power prop firms is crazy, but you know, it's not really as realistic as real trading. So people really struggle with personal accounts when they trade with prop firm accounts, but you know, I think it's really there. Now, moving on to the final thoughts, which I hope you guys have been enjoying this video so far, is that I definitely would get funded with funded futures. I would recommend them as literally not, I've always been honest with all my reviews because I say it like it is. And that's why I became traded anyway, because I can do what I want when I want. But generally it is the best one because you only pay one time fee. You don't have to pay monthly. It's really easy to get funded. The accumulation is there. They're the top companies, so they have a lot of financial backing, so they will pay you out. I don't have the worry in my mind that they're not going to pay me out this 100k plus, but with other firms I may have that. They might do an interview, make up some excuse, especially when I've been a victim this year of someone just making the dumbest excuse not to pay me out. I just couldn't even bother to entertain it, and I didn't even want to make a video on it. But now that I'm doing this review series, I think that I might have to kind of, I don't want to call them out because it just causes drama, but I will say who the company is and what the stupidest scenario is, and I'll show you the email and I'll show you kind of the bullshit excuses that kind of come up with it. So yeah, I mean, I could highly recommend Fund the Future. So if you do want to copy your challenge, link in the description below and use the code WCHAMP for 5% off of your challenges. And then last but not least, please do go check out and use our website FPT for when you are kind of comparing your websites and comparing your prop firms and what challenges to buy. I really want to grow FPT and make that the #1 review website in the whole entire space. And I can only do that with your guys' help. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and of course we will do a video giveaway in this video, and we will be giving away 4 funded next accounts. It will be over 25k CFD accounts or the futures account. I'll announce it during the premiere and I'll put it on Twitter, but please do like this video, subscribe and comment below. Comment one thing you would do with a 25k account. What would you do with it? Like if you would trade it really seriously? You would use that money to pay for something really fun, like something fun. I don't want to hear the most depressing story. Let's try and put some positive light. Like what would you do? You know, buy a watch, maybe buy some AirPods, like something cool, happy. And I'm going to vibe off of that energy and keep this positive going. And the happiest answer I get, I'll pick 4 people and you guys will win. And we will announce those winners on the FPT Twitter page and also the FPT Discord, which you can go and find on Twitter. So thanks for watching, guys. Champ out. Peace.